Some people refer to amateur radio as the first social network that's been created since the 1900s and so on. We use it for experimentation with wireless technologies, programming, construction. We use it for self-education. We learn a lot about using amateur radio through these experiments that we do. We use it for fun. And the most important thing, we use it for emergency communications. Just like the International Space Station uses it for emergency communications, if our state requires it, they will call us in to help with communications in case of extreme situations, like a very serious earthquake, or for example, in case with the recent fires that they've been having, radio amateurs have been helping with the communications of the services. It's the only hobby that is actually governed by regulations from the United Nations through the International Telecommunications Union. And there are special articles set up in the article of the ITU, which govern the way amateur radio works. There's about 300 radio amateurs in Cyprus, licensed, and there's about 3.5 million all over the world. Now, just a word about Cyprus Amateur Radio Society. We're the national organization for radio amateurs in Cyprus. We've been founded in 1975. And we represent Cyprus radio amateurs on a national and international level. And hence why we're here today, because in order to apply for the IRIS project, the support from the Cyprus Amateur Radio Society was required to move ahead. So thank you very much, and we hope today will be a success. Remember, this is a big experiment. Even though it's on the ISS, even though all of the testing has gone ahead with NASA, etc., there's always a possibility that this project, today's event, may not be a success because it is an experiment. So, fingers crossed, and hope you enjoy the day.
Thank you, Mr. Yakovidis.
Hello guys, I'm an ex-graduate of the English School. I'm currently studying physics at the University of Southampton. I know that Miss Katie and all of you guys, members of the Astronomy Club, are doing a great job, and I'm so proud that my school gets to talk to the International Space Station. I wish I was there, guys, and good luck to you.
Now I would like to invite to the stage Mr. Josh Trulias, the Director of Scientific and Planetarium Observatory.
Can you hear me? Yes, so I will not sing for you. Hello everyone. I feel very proud and honored to be here today and be part of a historic meeting today here. So I'm going to talk to you about our part. So the Gideon Planetarium Observatory is a leading organization in the fields of astronomy, space science, positive and general sciences in Cyprus, but also with main distinctions abroad. We are promoting STEM education, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and astronomy in Cyprus since 2008. We are very proud that the Gideon Planetarium Observatory was a catalytic factor for achieving the goal in bringing the IRIS program in Cyprus, and we consider it to be a great success and a precedent for the Cyprus space era. I would like to thank and congratulate our partners, the English School, thank you very much, and especially Ms. Katie Dimitriou, and the Cyprus Amateur Radio Society, and especially my friend Nestor Yakovidis, who have trusted our knowledge and professionalism, and for the very good cooperation that we have. Let me mention here that it's not only today the cooperation I'm referring to, but it's long-lasting and continuous, and it includes many educational projects and projects in the field of science research, where new discoveries have already been made. In addition, I would like to thank our sponsors and supporters. Thank you very much, guys. Without you, we wouldn't be able to succeed. Today we have presented an interactive NASA STEM workshop concerning the International Space Station. Third-year students from different schools nationwide participated in this workshop, and the aim was to develop the students' interest and enrich their knowledge in astronomy, technology, and space. The space station is an international and multicultural partnership and cooperation. Similarly, our workshop hosted students from different nationalities with many traditional cultures. So this is how the message that we are all inhabitants of the same place called Earth, yes, and we must be united, work together, cooperate, and protect and develop our planet. So Cyprus has succeeded in becoming a member of the European Space Agency, and much of the contribution to the International Space Station comes from this organization, and mainly from the European citizens, actually. So this means that Cyprus has already been active and being involved in space science, and is growing rapidly in this field. So we are all confident that the efforts done by the Gideon Planetarium Observatory in the last 10 years, but also the efforts from other organizations in Cyprus that they are dealing with the same sector in our country, will very soon bring the desired results and still more successes for our country. I would like to congratulate the students that they made discoveries. Some of the first discoveries were done by these people sitting next to me. Thank you very much, guys. Some of the discoveries new asteroids in the main asteroid belts, and they are preliminary, recorded as preliminary, and they are entering the minor planet database. So our wish, perhaps, one of these students who took part in this event today, and let's hope that one of them will become the first Cypriot astronauts. So thank you very much for your attention, and looking forward for further cooperation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Julias.
Hi, my name is Joshua Deviu, and I am currently studying computing at Imperial College London. I am also an English School Old Boy, and I was head of the English School Radio Club back in 2016. I am very proud of the English School Radio Club for getting ready to talk to the International Space Station. This project started back in 2016, when our radio club team, with the amazing support of Ms. Katie Dimitriou and the Astronomy Club, made a request to join this international program for schools to talk to the space station. And finally, after 2 years, the day has come. I wish you all the best on Wednesday when you talk to the astronauts, and I hope you keep inspiring students to do amazing things. Make us all proud. Many 73 from London. Good luck.
The Radio Club is a very important club for the English school students. Please welcome to the stage Mariam Andreou and Kyriakos Stefanou to tell us why.
Hello, my name is Kyriakos. I am one of the oldest current members of the English School Radio Club. Been a member since year 1, now year 6. In the Radio Club, we learn how the radio equipment works and the physics behind it, as well as how to play it properly. This enables us to communicate with people all around the world and connect with them as radio amateurs.
Hi, I'm Mariam. I'm also a member of Radio Club. I have been a member for almost 3 years now. I have to say it's an honor to be able to communicate with all these people around the world that live miles and miles away from us. If you ever come to the Radio Club, you will notice that it's a really free-spirited place that you can be yourself. And it's really, really fun and enjoyable when we all gather around and communicate with all these people. If you have ever been there, you will also notice the giant metallic cupboard that we store all the QSL cards that we get from people around the world. And it's a really, really fun experience that you gain skills that will be useful for the rest of your life. So if you can, give it a shot. It's worth it.
absolute quiet. Hello?
This is the conference center. Let me join you in.
Yes, hi.
Good, the show is online.
Hello, this is Eskil. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, hello Eskil. This is Nestor, 5B4 Alpha Hotel Zulu.
Hello, Nestor. How are you today?
We're well, we're well.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I'm still waiting for the ground station semi-automat to check in. So right now, there's just you and I. Amo is also online. He can unmute himself if he wants to. He will be listening in throughout the whole conversation. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be a great success. So I guess you're well prepared.
Yes. How do you hear our audio?
So far, so good. It sounds very good. Are you speaking from the main microphone right now?
Yes, I am. Yes, I'm using the phone just like we'd be using it during the contact.
Excellent. It sounds, as far as I'm concerned, it sounds excellent. Now we'll just wait and see as soon as the ground station checks in. We'll just see what they think of the audio. But as far as I can tell, the audio is very good from my standpoint.
Okay, we'll be here on standby.
Good. Now, Nestor, you mentioned that you wanted me to notify you when to start recording, when tape was going to come on the microphone. Is that correct?
Yes, when we're ready, we'll start recording as well. So, I don't know, we're going to hang up and then call again, or will you stay online until the contact?
No. From now on, you stay online. You do not disconnect anything. From now on, you stay online.
Okay, I will put you on mute for one moment. We'll just give a few instructions here to switch off phones, and if you do call it, I will be on mute, so I will call you back.
Okay. So you can hear everything I say, correct?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay, good. Because what we'll be doing eventually is we'll be doing a few sound checks, but that's okay. You can put me on mute for the time being, and then do what we need to do, and then I'll call you when we need to start working.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Mia, can you tell me when, notify me when the ground station St. Bosma checks in?
Another location has joined.
I'm here, W6SRJ.
Hey, good morning, Tim. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Eskil. How are you?
Good. I've been setting everything up here. I'm just surrounded by 3 computers and 3 computers and an iPad. So I'm kind of prepared for all eventualities as I'm checked in on the phone line with the dual systems as a backup, and I've got 2 cell phones laying next to me just in case.
Okay, I've got you on speakerphone now, and Bill Hillendahl, Kilo Hotel 6, Golf Juliet Victor, I keep wanting to say Gracie Center. Thank you. Is in the shack with me. Don Doggy, KD6UAY, decided that 2 of us were enough, and he was going to sleep in, but he had to work for this morning.
Well, I think that's an excellent idea, because if I remember correctly, over where you are, it's 9 hours difference from where I am, so that should put us somewhere around 2 or 3 in the morning, around 2 a.m. your time, right?
Yep, coming up on 2 a.m. in about 10 minutes here.
Well, thank you very much for coming in. We have this tool already online. I'm going to ask him to join us. Nicosia, Nestor, can you unmute the line and join us, please?
Yes, hearing you.
Excellent. Okay. We have online as well. This is the station logistics RJ. And we have about 43 minutes before the space comes into range at the road. So we're going to start with doing some voice check with the students. So if you can line up all the students just what sequence they are going to be asking the questions. And I'm going to hand over the microphone to the controller center. So, the podium.
Okay, yes, we're ready.
Do you have school or students there?
What experiment are you currently working on? Over.
Okay, I wasn't quite ready for that.
Okay, we'll try again.
Yes, no, hang on just a second. Okay, let me something up. Okay, what you can hear now is a little noise from the radio, just to make sure we get the path. Okay, check this out again, just to make sure you're. Okay. All right, KTJV, W6SRJ, how do you copy this? Okay, so go ahead with the first sheet, please.
What experiments are you currently working on? Over.
How is the ISS protected from impacted space debris? Over.
What are the contingency plans if there's a puncture in the hull? Over.
How important is the presence of amateur radio equipment on the ISS? Over.
Okay, stand by 1 minute. You guys want to make sure that you listen for the astronaut to say over before you start the next question, okay? All right, next, go ahead.
What is your main role on the ISS? Over.
Do you get criticized by people who believe in conspiracy theories? Over.
Stop. I assume that Bill is answering on the handset, but we can't hear him. We can't hear everything coming back.
Oh, you're not hearing Bill?
No.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. KH6TJ.
Now we're getting good. Can you increase the volume a little bit more?
A little bit. I'm going to get into doing some bad things here.
Well, just try the last level. I think the last level was pretty good.
So you have to listen to the radiometer when he says
Okay, Bill, you want to give him a count again, please?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. KH6TJ.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay, next student then, please.
How much free time do you have on a mission? Over.
Very good, over.
What's the most dangerous situation you have been in on the ISS? Over.
Very good, over.
Are your dreams affected by being in space? Over.
How long can the ISS
Very good, over.
How long can the ISS maintain its orbit without a rocket boost? Over.
Very good, over.
What do you believe is the most important attribute needed to become an astronaut? Over.
Very good, over.
Do you get informed if you have a family emergency? Over.
Very good, over.
What does the ISS smell like? Over.
Very good, over.
What happens if you get sick or injured during your mission? Over.
Very good, over.
If we could send you something right now, what will it be? Over.
Very good, over.
Can we get student one all the way to number 7 go through again, because we didn't have any audio back then. So question 1 all the way to 7. If we can get those again, go ahead.
What experiments are you currently working on? Over.
Very good, over.
How is the ISS protected from impacted space debris? Over.
Very good, over.
What are the contingency plans if there's a puncture in the hull? Over.
Very good, over.
How important is the presence of amateur radio equipment on the ISS? Over.
Very good, over.
What is your main role on the ISS? Over.
Very good. Over.
Do you get criticized by people who believe in conspiracy theories? Over.
Very good. Over.
How much free time do you have on a mission? Over.
Very good. Over.
Can I continue?
Okay, sounds like everybody's got that pretty well down and practiced.
Yes, it sounds really good. Nestor and Nicosia, how did the audio sound to you coming from Bill, who was on the radio? Go ahead.
Okay, we're receiving him quite clearly here in Cyprus. No problems at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we got a good one here today.
Yeah, the audio sounded loud and clear from my standpoint as well, so there should not be a problem.
Yeah, it was good all the way through to Bill and the HT, so I think we're good to go.
Good, excellent. All right, well, just a question for Nestor. Nestor, did you start a recording?
Yes, we have. Yes, it's already running.
Okay, perfect. I don't have to think about that anymore. Excellent. Now, I'm just going to run through a few checkpoints. I know that Tim already has done this, but this is kind of interesting for Nicosia as well to hear. So, Tim, here are a few questions for you. Have you tracked the ISS recently?
Yes, we have.
Good. Have you set up an estimate and update?
We did, and we're all set to go. We have a written backup with the time maps and where the azimuth and elevation rotors are supposed to be in case rotors fail, or the computer pushing the rotor fails.
Excellent. Is this going to be a flip mode or no?
We are not going to treat it as a flip mode.
Excellent. Time check for what is your acquisition of time expected to be right now?
Right now we have, I don't have the exact second, well, we've got 2 o'clock and 25 seconds.
2:25. Okay, excellent. Same here. And of course, this goes without saying, your tips are up to date?
Yeah, we updated them this afternoon, and I checked them again this evening just to see if there was a later set. But we're still good for AOS at 35 minutes and about 15 seconds after the hour.
Okay, yeah, that's about 45 seconds different from what I have on my screen here. That's close enough. Have you confirmed the frequency the ISS will be using?
Yep.
Please put your phones on flight modes and silence.
Excellent. Now, let me see here. Go ahead.
Yes, I do want to make one statement here. We may lose the signal maybe as much as 30 seconds early because the space station at LOS is descending right over the top of a mountain to the southwest of us, or southeast of us, I'm sorry. The LOS is, that's probably going to cost us anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds or more. That's about a 2,000-foot mountain.
That sounds like Mount Diablo.
No, Mount Diablo is much further south.
Okay.
This is Sonoma Mountain, but where we are on the Santa Rosa Plain, it's about 2,000 feet above us.
Good, excellent. But 30 seconds early noted. Now, in that case, could you then give a warning in time to the school so that they know when they have to applaud for the astronauts?
Yeah, generally I'll give you a warning at around 1 minute, which means unless I start losing signal sooner, but I doubt that that's going to happen.
Good, excellent. All right. Nestor, I think you heard everything that Tim said?
Yes, we have, yeah.
Okay, so Tim will give 1 minute warning so that you will have time to thank the astronaut real quick and so that everybody will be able to applaud so that the astronaut will be hearing your applause. Now, have you already trained the applause so that everybody knows when to applaud and etc.?
Yes, we have already practiced.
Okay, can we hear what it sounds like when everybody applauds, so that it's really loud? Can we do that now?
Yes, we'll do it now.
Make sure it's just as loud when the time comes, Nestor.
We'll do that, yes.
Excellent. Now, I want to make just sure for all the students who are listening, now Nestor has gone through it with you. Don't forget to say over at the end of each question, because that's the only way the astronaut will know when it's time for him to talk, to start speaking. And for everybody who's in the room, I assume that that you have quite an audience there already. So everybody in the room except Nestor, please do turn off your mobile phones or set them to flight mode, because otherwise the risk is that we will hear the noise of the cell phones going through the microphone, and that does create a lot of interference. So please do turn off your cell phones. And also, once the contact with the International Space Station is established, which is going to be in about 31 minutes from now, everybody will be kind of happy, and the tendency is to cheer or clap, but please do not do that. Once contact has been established, be quiet. You will all get a chance to cheer and clap at the end. Nestor, do you have any questions? Anything you're wondering about?
So, when contact is established, will the astronaut ask for the first question?
No. Yeah, let me answer that if you would. What's the first student's name? Is it Petros?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so here's how this is going to go, and I'll even open the squawk so you get a real good sense of what it's going to sound like. What you're going to hear is me opening up the squelch, which means you're going to hear a lot of radio noise, and I'm going to turn it down a little bit so it's not real bad. Okay, you're going to hear that, and you're going to hear me going like this. NA1SS, NA1SS, this is W6SRJ with scheduled contact over. And then at that point, you'll hear a little bit of this. You'll probably hear me calling a couple of times. And then at that point, once I hear the astronaut and he's loud enough in the system here, I will say to Petros, go ahead with your question. Okay, and that'll be your cue to start. So that's how we're going to begin this, okay?
Yes, that's very clear. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Okay, excellent. Does anyone have any more questions? Okay, well, sounds like everything's clear. Well, we have about 29 minutes. Did anyone say anything?
No, I did. I'm going to go to muted speakerphone so I can hear you, but it will take me a second to get back to you now.
Okay, excellent. Well, we have about 29 minutes to go, so I'm basically just going to fill the time a little bit. Nestor, just for my record here, how many people are in the audience?
Ooh, we have about 100 people in the audience.
100 people in the audience. Do you have any? papers as well? Any journalists?
Yes, we already have some journalists here. They're already recording some images from the event.
Okay. And I'm trying to get the picture on the internet as well. But so far, I'm not really managing to get anything, but it will probably come live pretty soon. Now, for everybody who's listening, my name is Eskil von Loset. I'm a rig amateur with a call sign SM5SRR, and I am the moderator for the event. I'm located in a little village called Knivsta, which is about 65 kilometers to the north of Stockholm, Sweden. And temperature outside right now is just about 92 degrees Celsius. It snowed all night, so we have plenty of snow outside. And it's kind of chilly outside, but of course we're sitting inside, so that's kind of nice. The lakes are frozen out here, and yesterday we could go skating. And actually the ice is frozen that solidly that you can drive your car out on the ice. That's how cool it has been up here. We have about 27 minutes to go, and as you heard a little bit earlier, the ground station is Tim, who's in Santa Rosa. He will give you some more information about the station later on as we get the program going. And when we have about 10 minutes to go, I will start the official script, the official introduction, and that's when we will start our own recording here as well. That's basically what is going to be happening. As you probably know, also the space station, it has been in orbit for quite a while now, and it's always been manned by people from different countries. Of course, the United States is represented on board every time. We have Russians, Japanese. We have been astronauts from quite a few countries on board. And today the astronaut who will be speaking to us is going to be, I'm looking into my papers because of course I've misplaced it a little bit, astronaut Mark van der Hey will be answering the question. He's a NASA astronaut. We have about, let me see here. Of course, I'm looking at the wrong computer. We have about 26 minutes to go. And what's the weather like in Nicosia, Nestor?
Yeah, it's a little bit overcast, but we have a nice temperature, 18 degrees Celsius more or less, which is quite nice for Cyprus at this time of year.
Well, that's nice. I wish I was in Cyprus.
You're more than welcome to join us anytime.
Yes, one of these days I'll go down and visit. My youngest son had the opportunity of spending quite some time there during the summertime, and he really enjoyed it. He enjoyed the hospitality and the climate and the swimming in the sea. So it sounds like a very nice place to be studying, if nothing less.
Indeed so, yeah.
All right. Tell me a little bit, Nestor, how have the students prepared for this contact?
I will actually call their teacher who actually worked with them, and it's better for her to explain. So I will call Kate to explain to you.
Yes, okay. Again, this is just a little bit to fit the time, as we have about 24 minutes to go, so just to have some chit-chat going, as we say.
Okay, so we selected the questions from the whole of the school. The school is actually about 1,100 students, and everyone got the opportunity through their science lessons to actually talk about what questions that we were going to ask. So the selection of the questions, it took quite some time because there were lots of interesting questions, and we selected the most appropriate ones for this presentation now. The students that are talking today They are all members of the radio club of the school or the astronomy club of the school. So we actually have some licensed radio amateurs in the students who are talking. Bedros, the first student, he obtained his license and he passed the exams in March last year. Christos is also licensed and he passed his exam in March last year. Odysseus is also licensed and passed his exam in March last year. So I want to just say publicly a big congratulations to these three young men who did extra, wanted it, revised themselves, and actually learned physics and electronics way above what's required in school at this level. So well done.
That's very well done, and I hope you will enjoy the challenge of or the hobby of ham radio, because it's a very interesting field. There is something for everyone. You can go up on satellites to experiment with that. You can be on shortwave, digital communication. It's such a wide area, such a wide field, and it's a lot of fun. I've been a ham radio operator for 40 years. I've tried quite a lot of things. I've done the satellites, and it's been really, really interesting. And I really do hope that you will enjoy it as much as I have done that for the last 40 years. So from my side as well, really congratulations to you getting your licenses. Well done.
Thank you very much. We also have a member of the audience who also gained his license in March 2017. So well done to him as well. Is it possible to talk a little bit about the astronaut? Because I have researched him, so I'd like to tell the audience about the astronaut that we're talking to today.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so we're talking to Mark van der Hey. He has a physics background. So this gentleman who we're talking to studied physics and did a master's at Stanford University. After that, he joined the US Army, became a colonel, and when his time was up in the Army, he decided to join NASA and become an astronaut. So he has a scientific background, also an Army background, and then became a NASA astronaut. The other fact that is very interesting about him is that yesterday he did a spacewalk. So we're actually talking to someone who was out of the International Space Station and repairing a robotic arm. So we're very honored that he has the time to speak to us. Our original choice would have been Tuesday to talk, but obviously he had to do a spacewalk on Tuesday. So that's why we were moved to Wednesday. So we're talking to, so I just want to actually let the crowd know that this man was actually outside the International Space Station yesterday, floating around, and we were watching him do his work online. I posted some footage. Thank you. Over.
Well, you're welcome, and to be honest with you, that's more than I knew. I haven't had time to look at what Mark van der Hey has been doing lately. But that was very, very educational for me as well. So thank you very much for that information.
Okay, so the next thing that I could talk about is a little bit of the work that we've done to get to this point as a school. Over.
Go. You can go ahead. Okay. We have 9 minutes. It's all the floor yours.
Okay, so the project itself, the first I heard of it was from a student called Christos Kakoutas. And if you were in the presentation earlier, he was so enthusiastic that he found out that it's actually going through that he sent me a message from Cambridge. So at the moment he's studying engineering, he's a 4th-year student at Cambridge, and he was the first person to mention the fact that this project existed. So the idea behind it started a long time ago. Unfortunately, he's in Cambridge and can't be with us now, but the idea originated, well, the first time I heard of it was from him. Then, the Radio Club progressed successfully. A new chairman was elected, George Sadiriou, and he also took this up with the school and thought, well, this would be a really good idea if we could do this. George is currently in Imperial College studying computing. Again, unfortunately, he couldn't be here today. I wish he was, because he's one of the driving forces that got the project started off. So, in 2016, 2015 maybe, Nestoras and Stavros approached me as class members and suggested that we actually go through with it. We had a meeting, and this is the culmination of the project. It's been a lot of hard work, and I'm very glad that we've done it. We also have good cooperation and partnership with Pythian Planetarium Observatory, who helped us with the educational program. We've had excellent participation from almost every student in the English school, so almost every student in this school has been affected by this program. They've had the opportunity to look through telescopes, they've had the opportunity to hunt asteroids, they've had an opportunity to use ham radio. Technologically, they've progressed, it's expanded their horizons. They have learned stuff that isn't in the curriculum, but we think is very, very good, and they've developed skills and cooperated with each other. I'm very happy to have schools in Cyprus with us today. We invited other schools today, and thank you very much for coming. It's an honor for you to be here with us to share this moment. Fingers crossed again that it actually happens the way it's planned. Thank you. Over.
Well, thank you very much, Kate. Wonderful introduction. Also very interesting for me to hear that. So, and congratulations to all the work you have been doing, because obviously you've really put a lot of effort and energy into it. So thank you very much for doing that. Okay, I'm going to ask the operator to come online for a minute. Mia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you, Mia. In about 6 minutes, the station will be in range. So in 6 minutes, I will ask you to start a recording. So in 6 minutes from now, is that okay with you?
Yes.
Wonderful, thank you.
It's not 6 minutes.
Go ahead.
So we've got at least 14, 15 minutes right now.
Oh, sorry, my mistake. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It's acquisition of signal is 15 minutes and about 15 minutes from now. It's my mistake. I'm just mixing things up. But thank you very much for pointing that out to me. Tim, maybe you can tell me a little bit. Maybe you can tell the audience a little bit about Santa Rosa, California, and how long the station has been in operation. What do you think?
Yeah, I can do that. The station's been around since 1995 here on the campus of Santa Rosa Junior College. It was put together by a group of faculty, staff, students, and ham radio operators from the community here. We were operation was done with Cameron Jernigan, astronaut Cameron Jernigan, and we have talked to and run communications for all the space shuttles, the Russian Mir space station. And there were astronauts up there talking to students, and then since basically day one of the International Space Station. And back then, we also also did personal phone calls for the astronauts because they didn't have what they have now. Now currently they have a VoIP system, a voice over internet protocol telephone system where they can call their family. Back then, the only way they could talk to their families was through mission control or through one of the ham radio ground stations like us. We're located on the campus of Santa Rosa Junior College. The junior college has 5 campuses in the California wine country. And I think last count, we have about 20,000 unduplicated, or an average head count for students of about 20,000 total students. Anyway, and we're located about 45 miles north of San Francisco. I think you know where we're at. It sounds like you've flown into this area.
Yes, okay, Sam, thank you very much. Yes, I know the area very well. I used to live in Concord, California. Lived there for 5 years, so I did a lot of flying out in the area. So I guess I do know exactly where you're located.
Okay. And as far as the radios go, for those with a ham radio interest, the main transceiver today is a Kenwood TS790A. It's been with us since 1995, been a great radio, works really good for this kind of thing. We do have amplifiers for both the receive side, up on the mast, and as well as down in the station, and then we also have amplifiers for the power out. So we're putting about 170 watts into the antenna system, and it's a pair of M-squared. Well, on the 70 centimeter side, we have a pair of M-squared antennas, and on the 2 meter side, we have a 22 element. I can never remember. We have 22 element cross jagged, so we have a pretty good antenna system up on the station here. Anyway, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Tim. Well, I have one little question. Maybe you can answer that. The very first ham radio contact made from a U.S. station. I do know that the Russians did have a ham radio capability from the Mir stations, but I do know that the first contact, or the first, I believe contact made from a Russian station was by Dr. Owen Garius aboard the space shuttle, if I'm corrected. Did Skylab or any other stations have any ham radio possibilities? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not certain. I've been in this program for a long time, but I can't remember who was first anymore.
Okay, no, that since it was a while ago, so I guess I'll just have to do my homework on that one. There's so much history behind that. All right, well, thank you very much for the introduction, Tim. And I assume in California right now there's no snow in Santa Rosa. I think. Go ahead.
No, it's about 0 degrees, and looks like we've got a rain storm moving in. But other than that, no snow in Santa Rosa.
Well, okay, considering the fact that it's been very dry over there, that's probably going to be a good thing to get some water. All right, well, we have about the 10, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not a good thing if we get too much water. You may have heard about the mudslides in Southern California with the areas that have been burned. And the station here is located, I don't know if you've heard about the wine country fires in Northern California, but we had about really bad fire season back in October 9th, and 8th and 9th, and almost 5,000 houses or homes were burned down up here. And now with the rain, we've got to be real careful because we get into mudslides.
Yeah. Now, I see that we are about 9 minutes away from the contact. So I suggest that we start the official script. Would you agree, Tim?
Yes.
Good. Mia, are you online?
Yes, I am here.
Can you please start a recording?
Yes, thank you. The recording has started.
Thank you. All right. Nestor and Kate, I am now starting the official introduction, as the space station should be in reach in about slightly less than 9 minutes. Hello everyone, this is Eskil von Dostep, XM5SRR, located in Knivsta, Sweden, and I am your moderator for today. Through the help of amateur radio volunteers and the crew on the ISS, we soon hope to establish radio contact with the International Space Station as it flies more than 400 kilometers above the Earth. This is all accomplished with ARIS, amateur radio on the International Space Station. The ISS is currently flying over the Pacific Ocean, whizzing along at nearly 28,000 kilometers per hour, which is 7.8 kilometers per second. The contact for today will be performed using the ARIS Celebridge network, a worldwide network of amateur radio ground stations that enables students to contact the ISS. The audio of today's contact will also be available live around the world via the amateur radio Echolink and IRLP networks handled by John, AG9D in Montgomery, Illinois. Thank you, John. ARIS is a consortium of volunteers from 9 nations that develop and operate the amateur radio equipment on board the International Space Station. Those that support ARIS are the American Radio Relay League, the worldwide AMSAT Amateur Radio Satellite Corporations, the Canadian Space Agency, the European Space Agency, the Japanese Space Agency, and Roscosmos, the Russian Space Agency, and NASA. The amateur radio ground station that will establish contact with the ISS today is W6SRJ, located in Santa Rosa, California, and operated by Tim Bosma. Thank you for helping us today, Tim.
You're welcome, and Bill Hillendahl's also here helping me. You still there? Hello?
Thank you, Tim. We're still there. Over.
No, okay, we're here. I think we lost Eskil.
Did we? So.
Eskil, are you around?
Okay, you got me? 1, 2, 3?
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
How much did you hear?
We got up to the point where you thanked me for being here, and I came back to you and said Bill Hillendahl was here.
Okay, sorry. All right, good. We're good. We have about 5 minutes to go. And our lecture today will be with the students of the English School in Nicosia, Cyprus. Now let's check in with the students and Kate Demetriou, 5B4 ANN. Kate, tell us a bit about the school and the students taking part today.
The English School, Nicosia, is based in the capital city of Cyprus, Nicosia. We're a school of approximately 1,100 students. We mainly have Cypriot students, but there are some international students as well who are in the school. The students taking part today are students who have contributed to the project, which has been running for 1.5 years. They are members of the English School Radio Club, which was founded in 1969 and is a very historic club at the school. They are also members of the English School Astronomy Club, which has been around for about 30 years in different forms on and off. The weather today is it's a little bit cloudy. It's about 18 degrees. It's fairly pleasant. We in Cyprus are used to warm weather, so it feels a little bit cool for us. The students have prepared well for this, and fingers crossed we actually are successful. Over.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, go ahead. Well, thank you very much, Dave. Now let's go to W6SRJ. Tim, Before the contact begins, please tell us about your station, where you are, and how you will handle the conversation today. Go ahead, Tim.
Okay, we've got about 3 minutes to go here, and as I said earlier, basically what you'll hear as I begin calling is you'll hear the squelch come up, and you'll hear me calling NA1SS W6SRJ, and I will, as soon as I get mark up, audio level up enough, I'll turn it over to Petros, the first student, for his question. Other than that, not much to go on here. We're getting pretty tight for time, so I'm going to turn it back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Jim. Well, we have about 2 minutes before the space station comes over the horizon in Santa Rosa, California. Now remember, what we're doing on ISS is an experiment, so we can never tell the results, positive or negative, until the experiment is over. And students, don't forget to say over at the end of your question. In a few seconds, the station should be coming in range of Santa Rosa. So, Tim, it's all yours, and good luck.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we've got about, looks like 90 seconds or so here before we get predicted acquisition of signal. And for the students there, our rotators are controlled by a computer through a tracker box. So about a minute ago, the computer engaged the rotators and turned them to the correct azimuth. And of course, at this point, they're at zero elevation because we're going to be shooting over the horizon here. Right now, the space station is right over the middle of the Gulf of Alaska, and we'll be calling here in just a few seconds. Anyway, you may hear me call a few times, and he may not come back right away. So, sometimes it takes a few seconds just to go ahead and get contact established. But here we go. NA1SS, NA1SS, NA1SS. This is Whiskey 6 here, Romeo Juliet, W6SRJ, calling for contact, over. NA1SS, NA1SS, NA1SS. This is W6SRJ calling. NA1SS, NA1SS, this is W6SRJ calling. NA1SS, 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 this is W6SRJ. NA1SS, 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 this is W6SRJ calling. NA1SS, NA1SS, this is W6SRJ calling. NA1SS, NA1SS, this is W6SRJ calling. NA1SS, NA1SS, this is W6SRJ calling.
Whiskey 6 Sierra, Romeo Juliet, this is November Alpha 1SS. How do you read me?
Read 5x5. Mark, you ready for the first question?
Sir,
thank you. Go ahead, Petros.
What experiments are you currently working on? Over.
There are between 200 and 300 experiments at any time on the space station. I've personally participated in one that involves maneuvering satellites inside the space station, and another one that helps grow non-animal protein sources, potentially for future use in space travel or on Earth.
How is the ISS protected from impact to space debris? Over.
There segments that actually been struck by debris. That helps protect us. Also, when we have something that we know is in our path, we can change the orbit of the space station slightly to get to a more safe trajectory.
What are the contingency plans if there's a puncture in the hull? Over.
If there's a puncture in the hull, we first try to isolate the leak, so we close hatches to find out where the leak is, and then we talk to the ground, what's where the safe position, and decide if we're going to try to repair the leak or not. Over.
How important is the presence of amateur radio equipment on the ISS? Over.
It's very important because it actually serves as one of our backup means of emergency communications. Over.
What is your main role on the ISS? Over.
My main role in the ISS is to serve as the hands of scientists on the ground to help them accomplish their experiments and to keep the space station running. Over.
Do you get criticized by people who believe in conspiracy theories? Over.
I've actually never been confronted by someone who believes in conspiracy theories. I suspect talking to an astronaut who actually has the answers contrary to what they believe would not be a good idea for them. Over.
How much free time do you have on a mission? Over.
The short answer is not as much as I would like, but typically all day Sunday is free time and half of the day on Saturday is free time. Over.
What's the most dangerous situation you have been in on the ISS? Over.
My most dangerous situation was yesterday when I had a malfunction in the suit, and the fixer had to turn off the suit while I was depressurized, basically in space, getting ready to start a spacewalk. Over.
Are your dreams affected by being in space? Over.
No, I haven't had any dreams that were different in space. I have noticed watching movies, though, sometimes I was surprised when things didn't float. I'm getting used to things floating all the time. Over.
How long can the ISS maintain its orbit without a rocket boost? Over.
We routinely reboost the space station about once every 1 to 2 months. Over.
What do you believe is the most important attribute needed to become an astronaut? Over.
I think the most important attribute to be an astronaut when you're isolated from the rest of humanity is that you can get along well with the few people that you're living with. Over.
Do you get informed if you have a family emergency? Over.
Yes, we have the ability to have a private conference with the ground so they can tell us if something happens on the ground. Over.
What does the ISS smell like? Over.
The ISS has a reputation for smelling bad inside, but I didn't notice that when I got up here. My nose is not as good as many people's, though, and I'm very used to it now, so it's safe to have a notice. Over.
What happens if you get sick or injured during your mission? Over.
We have doctors on the ground that give us advice, and all the crew members are trained on some medical procedures. And if it was a very severe injury where someone's life was at risk, then we have the ability to return home early because the Soyuz spacecraft, we arrive here, stays Doctor Space Station, and acts as a lifeboat. Over.
If we could send you something right now, what would it be? Over.
It would be sunshine and the feel of wind on my face and the feeling of ocean waves on my feet. Over.
Okay, Mark, that's a last question. Is there anything you'd like to speak to the students in Cyprus?
I'd like to say that you live in a beautiful place. Take great care of it from space. The world looks incredible and very fragile. So, and also, it was a very big honor for me to be able to talk to you. I hope you enjoy the conversation. Over.
Okay, school, do you have anything else for Mark?
Mark, we would like to give you a huge round of applause for doing this. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. It's a great honor for us as well. Thank you. Over.
Okay, we still have a couple of minutes here. We got done pretty quick, so if anybody has anything else they'd like to ask the astronaut, or Mark, if you have anything else, go ahead.
I'm happy to take more questions. Over.
Okay, school, any other questions?
Okay, so we have a question from the audience. What do you eat in space? Over.
We eat food. I think the question was, what do we eat in space? We have dehydrated food, and we also have what we call thermal stabilized food. That's quite a wide variety of food, everything from blueberry cobbler to beef patties.
Okay, we have another question. Stavros.
Yes.
How often do you have to exercise in space? Over.
We have 3 exercise devices. One is a bicycle with no seat, so they don't need to sit down on it. And then there's a weightlifting machine, but lifting weights doesn't really work for us up here, so basically it's like a spring power type of thing, but the spring is a vacuum. And then finally we have a treadmill, and we use bungee cords to hold us down on the treadmill so when we're running we don't push ourselves away from it. Over.
When will the first person go to Mars? Over.
It won't be me. Hopefully it'll be one of the people in your school. It's going to be a while, and I really couldn't speculate on that. Over.
Do you ever get used to the view? Over.
I'm sorry, say it again. Over.
Do you ever get used to the view? Over.
To the view.
I think you do. And one of the funnest things for me, as I look at things on the ground and do a little research to figure out what I was looking at, is starting to be able to identify what I'm seeing as I get more and more used to seeing things from space. Over.
1 minute.
What do you believe is the future in the next 10 or 20 years for space exploration? What do you feel about the current funding that goes into space exploration by space agencies? Over.
Well, because of my professional field, I would certainly like to see more funding for future space programs. But what I'm hoping to see is that, much like we have a space station in low Earth orbit right now, that we end up having some type of moon station, a lunar station that's run internationally, and that we use to do research in preparation for getting to Mars. Over.
Do people get seasick on the ISS? Over.
It's not quite seasickness, but it can be quite nauseating your first week in space. But the doctors can help us out with that. Over.
What do you miss most from life on Earth? Over.
I'm sorry, say again. Over.
What do you miss most from life on Earth? Over.
I miss being able to wake up next to my spouse, my wife, and have a very relaxing morning with no schedule. Over.
How long have you been in space?
Okay.
Over.
Say again. Over.
How long have you been on space? Over.
I've been in space since September 13th, 2017. Over.
Okay, time to say goodbye.
Wonderful day, and thank you very much for the conversation. Over.
Congratulations to all of you students and teachers of the English School in Nicosia, Cyprus. You did actually get 20 questions answered, because I wrote all of them down. So beautiful job. And Kate, you really did prepare the students excellently. So that was really nice, and some very, very good questions and some interesting answers as well from Mark. So ladies and gentlemen, we have just shared a moment of history. Amateur radio station W6SRJ, operated by Tim Bosma, W6MU, contacted astronauts Mark van der Hey, KG5G, and T aboard the International Space Station, who spoke with students attending the English School in Nicosia, Cyprus. Kate, do you have anything more you would like to add?
Yes, I do.
No.
First, thank you, Tim, very much. Secondly, I would like to invite Nestor to the radio amateur supporting us to say a few words.
Okay, thank you, Kate. On behalf of the Cyprus Amateur Radio Society, I would like to extend a warm and heartfelt thanks to Mark, KG5GNP, for taking the time off his busy schedule to talk to us, as well as Tim, Eskil, John, Armand, and all the RS volunteers who have made all of this possible. Finally, I would like to thank Kate and the school students for the wonderful cooperation we had during the past 13 months working on this exciting project. And who knows, one of you may end up being the first Cypriot astronaut on the ISS. I'll pass the microphone on to Eskil.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nestor. And I did have the chance of watching the transmission live from Nicosia. I can see you all standing there. Actually, I'm waiting to you, but you can't see me, but it's okay. Just very well, very nicely prepared, and I would like to add that it's not at all impossible for any one of you to become astronauts or whatever else you want to become in life. So aim for the stars and you will reach it. Now for the international volunteer team of AIRS, including the amateur radio societies around the world and NASA, this is Eskil von Doset, amateur radio operator SM5SRR, located in Nisa, Sweden, sending my greetings to all of you in amateur radio terms, 73, which means best wishes. Bye-bye to all. Operator, you can drop the slide.
Okay. Right, well done, students. Yeah, go there. Okay, so, can you please stay seated, students? We're not quite done yet. There's a couple of things to go. So, it's a tough act to follow an astronaut.
So, firstly, we would like to call the Minister of Transport, Mr. Marios Dimitriadis, to the stage.
It's up to you.
No, it's not working.
Oh, it's not working.
Okay.
Good. For a moment, I thought I was like a performer or something. Now, thank you very much for the invitation. Let me start by congratulating everybody who took part in this excellent event. I think it was very exciting. And I think it brought space closer to Cyprus at the end of the day. So I would like to, of course, congratulate the English school, congratulate the CARS, the Amateur Radio Club of Cyprus, and the KPO as well, Keaton Planetarium. Thank you very much. I think it's a great event. Let me say a few things about space, and the reason why they invited me here is because obviously space technology is under the Ministry of Transport, Communication and Work. The first time I spoke about space, and that was like almost 4 years ago, one of the papers presented me with an astronaut suit. That was the closest I will ever get to become an astronaut. But I think you have a better chance than me. So, because when everybody thinks about space, they think about astronauts, they think about the moon, they think about Mars. Somebody asked about when are we going to Mars, actually, one of the students. Let me say that actually space is part of our everyday life. We don't really realize, but it is. And actually, Cyprus takes part in space technology quite actively. Now, over the last few years, we, as a country, we have signed an agreement, and we're now one step before becoming a full member of ESA, which is the European Space Agency. I think everybody knows NASA, but at the end of the day, we'll have the European Space Agency as well, which of course is the European organization dealing with space. So we are one step before becoming a full member. Hopefully, in the next 4 years, we will become a full member. Just to say that at the moment, we take part in a lot of projects that have to do with space. And actually, 90% of the subscription we pay, which is almost 1.5 billion, comes back to Cyprus for research programs that have to do with space. The other thing I wanted to say is that one of the most exciting parts of my career, believe it or not, was when I went to French Guiana, which is in South America, and I watched the launch of Helasat. That was the second satellite they launched into the space. So actually, Helasat is using orbital slot of Cyprus in Greece. So the Cyprus flag was actually on the satellite when it was launched, and I found that actually it was quite an experience seeing the Cyprus flag was something that went to the space. Hopefully the next one will be somebody actually going to the space, like a Cypriot. But there will be another launch of a satellite of Helasat next year. So I think this is getting quite exciting. Actually, Eutelsat, another company, the largest satellite company in the world, they have a satellite which is using the Cyprus orbital slot as well. And there's a number of other companies that will use Cyprus orbital slot. So Cyprus is in the space already. So I wanted to say that just to understand that space is not something vague. Also about space technologies. I know that everybody here, I know for my kids, they love, of course, being connected all the time. So that's why they made us switch off our phones before. But when you're on plane, for example, you can actually use Wi-Fi now. It's because of the satellite. So I think this is another area where we're going to see a lot of development over the next few years. I think you should, you should feel okay about that. So next time you go on a long flight and you knock to your parents and say, I want to get my messages and I want to check WhatsApp and whatever. Most likely the next couple of years, everybody will be connected to internet when they're actually on a flight. The other area, of course, where we have a lot of use of space technologies are things like shipping, things like Earth observation. When we have things like fires, you can actually use the views from the satellites to solve the problem much faster. So space, it is part of our life. Just to say that Cyprus has great weather conditions for Earth observation as well. So we are part of a lot of programs. A lot of people, they actually come and use the facilities we have here. So I just wanted to say all this because it doesn't mean that you have to become an astronaut to be involved in space. You can actually get involved in space in many ways. And there are actually many people nowadays that are basically involved in space. The last thing I wanted to say is that as part of our effort to become a full member of ESA, actually ESA is giving some funds for making people more aware of space. So I think schools should benefit from these programs. There's actually some money for grabs there, so we can actually benefit from this money so that we can make people aware of space. And so that the next time I speak about space, I don't get a funny picture in the press, because space is part of it. So this is what I wanted to say. Maybe I'll try to give you a bit of inspiration instead of making a speech like a politician. I wish you the best, and of course, I think it's actually extremely exciting what you're doing. So well done again. Thank you very much.
So, one quick announcement. If you look in the skies
the ISS will be visible. Okay, so it's going to be at 65 degrees and be southwest. So you can actually see the space station whiz by quite often, and you can download an app to actually aid you to transport. So we do this a lot at our school. I would like to call the head teacher to the stage, and boys, can you come down, please? Right, so Kratcher and Stelios are my left hand and my right hand. So, they participated in the 2017 Astrophysics Olympiad, which was not in the language which we teach in, and they did extremely well, and they both won medals, and they both got a joint third position. So, well done. I'm very proud of all of you, regardless of if you're winning Astrophysics Olympiads or not. You're a joy to teach, a joy to work with, and a joy to go on trips with, guys. So well done, everyone. Thank you.
Before we leave today, I'd like to thank Kate, Nestor, and everyone involved with this, especially the students. I think they've done a fantastic job. It's been a long haul to get to this day, and it's put the Cypriot youth on the map. And we also like to extend our gratitude to the visiting schools and the accompanying teachers. And we look forward to working together in the future